Hello everybody, welcome back to 539 Productions. So today I am finally getting to this amazing little graveyard that I've been trying to film now for weeks, but the weather has just been so terrible, and today I didn't even think I was going to be able to make it here because of a flood, and the other side of the road actually was so flooded that it was closed, and so I had to go all the way around, and I was hoping that the graveyard itself wouldn't be flooded, and thankfully it was not. So we're gonna go ahead and explore that today and see what we can find here. It looks in okay condition. It doesn't look in great condition, but should be a really interesting place to explore. And these, of course, as I said many times before, are my favorite stones. These elaborate tree markers are so amazing, and each one is unique to that individual person. So far it's looking like there's a lot of erosion and a lot of decay to the stones that are making most of them completely unreadable at this point. And I'm seeing that being fairly pervasive across this section here in the middle, and then it seems to get a little bit better around the edges, which seem to be at a little bit higher of elevation, and so that might be some of the reason that over the years parts of this has flooded and has caused more damage to these stones in the middle. I'm not seeing any type of veterans flags over here at any of the markers. I'm having to be really careful. Here is a marker that's all but gone. And as you can see here, almost all of these stones in this area are in the same exact condition. They're all knocked over. They are all almost completely illegible, and it stops as soon as we get to the hill on the other side, it seems. And you can see here, although the individual markers have survived the test of time, for some reason this big, large family stone here in the middle has been completely knocked down. And I don't know if that's because of floodwaters or if that's because vandals have come through and knocked it over, but it's really, really heavy material. I'm sure it's probably granite. And this here is sort of a mystery that I've talked about before, and it almost appears that someone might have come and like stolen the top for some reason, but actually what really happened most likely is that this fell off at some point and into the mud, and then over the years was completely buried, which is what happens to a lot of the toppers on these stones. And right here, for some reason, there's a divot the size of a very, very small casket. I don't know if it was possibly a child's grave that is now eroded away over the years, or what exactly has happened here. And you can see here, strangely, just like this marker here behind it, the top of this one has been what appears to be pushed off the top and into the ground, because I can't figure any other way other than like the branch of a large tree smashing into it that it could get into this condition. But you can see behind, this is not a lake or a river. This is just a farmer's field. And way over in the distance is the tree line, and that's actually where the river is running. And right in line with the stones that were pushed over is this one here, one of the amazing custom tree markers. And again, an incredibly heavy stone, which seems to have been knocked over, I would say, at the hands of people. Again, I just can't figure any other way. So you can see a few trees that are in the stages of falling over that could potentially cause damage like we've seen here. So there still is a possibility that it's not caused by human hands. And as you can see here, we have one stone at the very end of this row, but absolutely no markers in between. However, it's unlikely that that area is completely devoid of burials. It's more likely that these stones have eroded away or have been moved but more than likely the burials follow the order of the rows. This area where it seems that all the stones have been wiped out is by far the lowest area in elevation in the whole entire place. So it would make sense that if there were floodwaters coming in here, they would be centralized in this area and therefore decay the stones here a lot quicker. And you can see there's almost nothing left of this row here, which has also had a similar fate over the years, but is still slightly higher in elevation than the row behind it. You can see that's actually a geocache that's been hidden here in the cemetery. And as you know, I was searching for a geocache recently and I didn't expect to find one here. We have a little journal here. Let's go ahead and enter our 539 Productions in there. There we are. There's a little something, appears to be from a Bratz doll maybe, and then a little pebble. Not much in there, but kind of cool. I wasn't expecting that. I thought maybe it was just a memory or a basket that somebody had left behind to decorate the grave. I don't know if I like it being under the grave though. That seems a little bit too much. Anybody looking for this geocache? It's now going to be located right over here. Still in a historical area, but I think a little bit better placement. And to be perfectly honest, from the sounds of the tree over here that's leaning against the other tree, it is so dead that it is about to crack and fall. So maybe it was a tree that did the damage here, I don't know. And yet another top to one of the markers right there. It looks to have been knocked off, and even in an area where it would have been a lot harder for a wayward tree to knock it down. And it would appear this one here has a depiction of the 10 Commandments, where the deceased name lies. And this seems to be the first veteran's grave, at least the only one that I found that's marked. A veteran of the Vietnam War. Surprisingly, I haven't found any Civil War markers, although they might just be so worn away that no one knows they're there any longer. And this one here at the very edge could end up falling off, although it seems that they built up a wall to prevent erosion, but I'm not sure how long it's going to last with all this flooding. And this may be a piece of a stone from a marker that has fallen down past the wall over the years. And you can see here's another matching one right here, indicating that that probably absolutely fell down from the top here, down the hill over time. Alright everybody, I'd like to thank you for watching this recent adventure on 539 Productions. To know that at any moment you could just pass by such amazing parts of history is quite something to think about. But I hope you've enjoyed watching. If you'd like to keep up with the journey, make sure to click subscribe in the description below. Also make sure to check out the behind the scenes on my second channel, My Story, also available in the description below. And I will see you all in the next adventure.